Greetings, Dr. Jonah. My name is GKP3314 and with matrix number 60576, and I'm going to present my final thesis titled The Qualities of Event Facilities in the Kuching Festival and Food Fair at Dewan Masyarakat Compound Kuching. Again, for the first chapter, I'm going to introduce the research location on at the event, and this event is located at Kuching City, and this festival is celebrated in the conjunction of Kuching City Day and is celebrated every year festively. Okay, the organizer of the festival, which is the Kuching South Council (MBKS), is the main organizer who has successfully conducting the event every year, and it has attracted the public in Kuching as well as the tourists. For the scope research, the researcher will be having about 384 respondents based on the Christian Morgan sample of population, and based on Department of Statistics Malaysia in 2010, the research population of Kuching is about 617,897 population, and out of this population there will be 394 respondents are going to involve in this research. For the problem statement, the researcher is taking one of the articles from the Borneo Post Online in 2018. Okay, in this article, the issue is being proposed as using styrofoam is banned in Kuching Festival and Food Fair. The usage of styrofoam is banned in the festival, and the public is encouraged to bring their own food containers from home. In this article, the facilities such as LED screens, food stalls, parking lots, and 3R dustbin pens are mentioned as the alternatives to improve the environment of the festival. In this research, researcher will touch the facilities issues in Kuching Festival and Food Fair. There are three main objectives to be achieved in this research. The first one is to identify the facilities provided at the event by the organizer, and the second one is to determine the public's perspectives of service quality of facilities provided at the event, and the third one is to improve the maintenance of the facilities at the Kuching Festival and Food Fair to becoming a better event in the future. Chapter 2, which is the literature review, the researcher will be choosing a few of the correlated literature reviews based on this research. For the first one is the types of size of events. For Kuching Festival and Food Fair, this festival is categorized as a major event. Based on Tourism and Transport Forum of Australia in 2011, major event consists of sporting events, cultural festivals, cultural events, concerts, and large community events. Facility management is a term closely related to building management and also includes the long-term planning and execution. Facility management is usually closely related to customer satisfaction, communication, and users' expectation while it is being implemented. Sanitary facilities and associated services is derived from proper sanitation that gives access to increase productivity of economy, well-being, and health status based on RMU 2012. This kind of facility or services provided is very appreciated by the public attending the events, as it smoothens the flow of an event and also lightens the public's concern. Next is the car parking facilities. The lack of numbers of parking lots at certain events have concerned the organizers, as it plays crucial part of the traffic of an event. This is because of the public attending the events are driving their own vehicles, and there are limited public transport provided by the organizer. Based on Soon, Du, Jinmei, and Das 2012, parking facility also has a correlation with the development of certain place and urbanization, and has been its peak in this era. When it comes to executing a public event, an organizer must have aware of the expectation numbers of attendants attending the event. Providing public transports are a must to attract a huge crowd. Based on Center for Urban Transportation Research in 2006, an increase of travel demands offers the important opportunity for the delivery of transportation services as it helps to achieve their operational practices in terms of innovative practice. The competitiveness of the industry has driven the standard of the service quality of a good or service. This has to do with delivering a great service by organization as it helps to stress the importance of service quality amongst the business companies. Based on Parasuraman in 1985, service quality can be defined as a way of consumers' attitudes react towards the service and the overall opinion on the service provided by the organizers. In chapter 3, which is the research methodology, this chapter will introduce you to the methodology used by the researcher in conducting this research. The location of study, the researcher will be focusing on the Kuching Festival at Food Fair that is located at Jubilee Recreation Ground and Kuching Park, organized by Kuching City Youth Council. Kuching is a major food and culture destination for foreign tourists and the main one-stop center for travelers visiting Borneo, especially in Sarawak. The public has options of transportation to reach their destination by car or by motorcycle. As for driving car, it is about 10 minutes driving from Kuching City, capital state of Sarawak, and has 7 minutes by motorcycle. As from the Kuching International Airport, it will be 17 minutes driving by car to Jubilee Recreation Ground. Sources of data, the researchers are using both sources of data, which is the primary data and the secondary data. For the primary ones, the researcher will be using questionnaires and surveys to collect the data. Meanwhile, for the secondary data, the researcher will collect data throughout the journal articles from the libraries. Based on Department of Statistics of Malaysia in 2010, Kuching district has around 617,897 population in Kuching. There are 384 respondents are being asked and surveyed in these questionnaires based on the research sampling method of Gretchen Moriot in 1970. In this research, questionnaires and Google form are being distributed amongst the Kuching population of the 384 respondents just now, and these questions are related to the satisfaction of the public in event facilities at Kuching Festival and Food Fair. In Chapter 4, findings and data analysis are being discussed. While building the questions in the questionnaires, pilot test has been carried out. The pilot test was carried to clarify the questions in the questionnaires to avoid any biases and leading questions being asked. There will be about 30 sets of questionnaires distributed as to test whether the questions are appropriate and are linking to research objectives and research questions discussed. Chapter 5 discussing about the suggestions and conclusions for the previous chapters in this thesis. Okay, this discussion is being discussed based on the three main objectives. For first objective is to identify the facilities provided by the organizer at the event. This data is collected from the responses of the respondents, and they stated that there are few facilities provided such as LED screens, plastic chairs and tables, disposal bins, public washrooms, water dispensers, parking spaces, and canopy. These facilities are voted as the most facilities provided by the organizer. For second objective is to determine the public's perspectives on the service quality provided by the event organizer. This quality of a facility or an infrastructure needs to be emphasized as this element determines the competitive value of every destination or an event. Based on Anwar, Ahmad, Jusoh and Hussein in 2012, this will be a benchmark to every event, and the facilities should be public friendly. For LED screens, most of the respondents stated that they agree on the LED screens have helped them to view the whole situation of the event closer and more lively. This is because the LED screens provided help them to know more about the event itinerary, and this could be a helping hand for the public, especially when it is crowded with people. As for the service quality of the public washrooms, a majority of the respondents stated that they were not sure of the public washroom are being maintained its cleanliness and hygiene, as the event is a public event and is freely attended by people who have different walks of lives. Most of them thought that the washroom provided have lack of hygiene regulations or standards that have resulted in of this finding are being neutral. This also has a correlation to the poor toilet design, unhygienic conditions that brings MRSA disease, which is a type of skin disease, and also insufficient maintenance that can be a major factor of the washrooms are not being used by the public who attended the event. Most of these respondents who participated in these questionnaires were from the student population. They stated that they were not sure of the sufficiency of the parking spaces provided at the event. Students who have unstable financial status may not have their own cars or transports to accommodate themselves to the festivals. These days, e-hailing systems is one of the trend among the youngsters, especially the students who are exposed to the advanced technological systems such as Grab and Maxim Car. Based on Man, Ahmad, Kyong, and Rashid in 2019, these e-hailing system services are expected to reduce the traffic problems and congestion caused by the vehicles on the road. As the students are using this technology efficiently, they were not aware of the parking facilities provided by the organizer. Customer satisfaction and the management of their expectation are equally important, as these strategies help to sustain the most trust of company holds on. In this era, customers' perspectives or service quality play an important part of the service of a product, as it adds market value to the product. In this question 8, respondents stated that they were not sure of the appearance of the physical facilities provided by the organizer. Sometimes the public has no time or nor expertise in the field of service quality in judging the experience or make the assessment, and they may rely wholly on the perceptions of the quality of functional to make judgment of the service quality of a product or service. And in this case, the appearance of the physical facilities at the Kuching Festival and buffet itself. For the last objective is to suggest ways to improve the maintenance of the festival in becoming a better event in the future. Based on the open-ended answers that the researcher has collected among the respondents, there were a few dominant suggestions that were relevant to improving their service quality at Kuching event festival. The first one is the respondents stated that there were needs to be secured parking lots provided by the organizer, as the parking spaces provided last time was just merely parking lots that are located at the conjunction of road with no CCTV installed to secure the vehicles parked. Secondly, there were a few suggestions on to boost the promotion of the event on media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram, or advertise on television or local broadcasts, as they stated that they were not aware of the existence of Kuching Festival and Fair. The suggestions, based on the suggestions that have been collected from the questionnaires, the respondents have given a few feedbacks on how to improve the qualities of facilities at the event. For the first one is the suggestions for Kuching Festival and Fair itself. The first one is to add the numbers of Muslim hawker stalls and beverages that sell food and drink. The food fair was mostly participated by the non-Muslim hawkers, and exotic cuisine were brought into the food fair. This has made the Muslim attendees were on the edge to fully enjoy the food fair. Next is the traffic occurred while the Kuching Festival and Food Fair is happening. This has been mentioned by the respondents on questionnaires. The traffic will be so bad when it comes to locating their parking lots. A system where the traffic can be controlled should be implemented by providing more accessible parking lots to the public. This can be done by collaborating with the RELA team and paid parking lots provided instead of the free ones, and as well limit the public transport to park their vehicles without the consent of authority. The next suggestion is for the future researchers. The researcher believes that the Kuching Festival and Food Fair is going to grow bigger as there are a lot of high demand on the food and beverages industry. This follows suit as well for well executed promotion and advertising in the future. Efficient promotion and advertising will help to make the public aware of the event, as it is an annual event celebrated in Kuching in the conjunction of its anniversary for being elevated as a city.